everybody. Hello, hello. I am here. Yes, it's 10 o'clock start, but I want to make something clear to a lot of people. On behalf of every Jamaican, I want to say to you, you see, when we say we are come. We never late yet. When we reach, and when we reach. Hold on, let me check if I'm coming through on this. Oh my God. Tonight we have a special guest joining us. Who do we have? Hold on, hold on. You know, thank you for being here, you know. Oh, you knew. Oh my God, I always say that. Sorry. You knew. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, tonight I have a special guest with me, and I'm not going to even wait. I'm gonna bring her out. EK, bam! Hello, EK. Thank you for coming, EK. All right, let me do the official. All right. Please bear with me. I'm using a software that I'm not very familiar with just yet. But here we
Welcome to my channel, Abuse Insights, where I create contents on abuse topics to include but not limited to childhood or domestic abuse.
Yes. How is everybody doing? How you all doing? How y'all doing? So today we're gonna have a discussion. And let me see if I can bring my guest in. Oh my God, this is a first, but let's see how we go. Hello, Trev. Are you there? Can you hear me clearly?
I can hear you just fine, my love. How are you doing?
Hello,
Good
everybody.
to
This
see
is my
you.
special guest, Trev Essence Unstoppable from you know
How is
where.
everybody
Trev.
doing? Happy Wednesday, everybody. Hope everybody is having a great afternoon.
Yay.
Good to see you, Delia. How you been?
Yes, I'm doing fine. I'm glad you could make it today. Yes. So,
Yeah,
guys,
you
you
know you
see
just have
the
to say the word. You say the word and I am here.
absolutely. Thank you. M and G,
Anytime, my love.
thank you, guys. Ajabu TV, hi. I hope I pronounced it properly. So, the question for tonight, do you remember what it is, Chef? Should we tell our partner everything?
Should we tell our
Tony, welcome,
partner
welcome,
everything?
welcome. Yes. So, without delaying, I'm going to share two stories to kick this discussion off. And please, guys, in the chat, let me know your thoughts. So, the first story I'm going to share, I heard a few days ago of a young lady. She was 18 years old and her first boyfriend. So, she has been a good girl all this time. So, she went with her first boyfriend and then she took sick, and only to find out that she contracted the big HI, her first boyfriend. This was not disclosed to her or
Hmm.
anything. Then the second story, I heard this on Unstoppable TV. Blessings Unstoppable wherever you are in the world. Thank you for this one. So a
That's
husband
a big
wrote
man.
to a
That's a
husband
big
wrote
man
to
all the time.
oh, this one is good. So a husband wrote to Unstoppable asking him to read a letter because he would like some feedback from his viewers. So the letter goes something like this. I don't remember it in the same way it was structured, but we'll get to the end point. So this man got married to his wife 9 years ago. So 2 years after the marriage, when they decided to travel on holidays, he always suggested that they returned to her hometown, which is New York. So they are both living in America, but different states. But every time she asked to visit, he asked that she visit the family with him. She comes up with different excuses until 9 years into the relationship of marriage, they finally decided to go to meet the rest of her family. So when the husband got there and he said he sat by the door, his wife aunt came in and said, I won't say the name, but I'll just use the name. So I'll use myself as example. Oh, Dalian, Dalian is still alive? I thought your pimp had killed you. So the husband said he was shocked. So long story short, what happened? The auntie was referring to her niece because her niece, her past life, she had a street life, but she cleaned herself up and got herself a good job, moved away from that part of town, and changed everything about herself. So she used to be a full prostitute. And she was also hard on drugs. But she never disclosed any of this to her husband. In the letter, the husband is saying he's now confused because he's unsure as to whether he wants to continue with the relationship or ends it, because the pain that he's experiencing, he had turned to one of his brother and shared his wife's story, and now the brother is laughing at him that his wife was a you know what. So now he feels ashamed, but at the same time his wife never gave him any trouble. She has always made him happy, their home is happy. But here comes her past. Hence the reason why I ask, should we disclose our past to our partner? If yes, how much so? If no, why not? Trev, take the floor for 2 minutes. I have my sorrel on the stove. Let me go turn it off.
All right. There is a yes and there is a no answer to that question. Should you disclose your past? It all depends on how much of your past should you disclose to your new partner. I mean, lots of people, lots of us, we have skeletons in our closets. There are some things that we'd rather not talk about. We
True.
don't want to have to share everything with everybody. And a new partner is a stranger until they are not. So
Mm-hmm.
why would I want to share everything with this stranger, knowing that if I say something that might make him think differently of me, it's going to break up whatever relationship we have already established, then he's going to be gone with whatever I told him. And then here I go find somebody else and I have to. No, nobody wants to have to deal with that. So for me, I'm only saying what's going to affect you. If it's not going to affect you or your life, that's none of your business. That's my business. I'm not going there. There were lots of people. Not to divert from the point, Delian, but I also have found that in recent years there has been this notion that you must say how many sexual partners you've had, where these men are coming asking you, what's your body count? No,
Mm.
that's some old low down, dirty, trifling man coming out asking how much was your body count. Go ask your mama. Don't ask a woman. Don't ask a woman that kind of nonsense. That's foolishness. You
Come on,
know,
guys, in
so
the chat. Let's hear your thoughts as well. Come on, get involved. What are your thoughts on what we are talking about? Should you tell your
yes,
partner everything about your past?
no,
And we're talking about
nothing.
if you are married. We're not talking about a fling or
But
just a one
Delia,
night stand. If you're
but
married to
Delia,
the person.
the thing is, if we have gotten all the way to marriage and I didn't tell you, why am I going to tell you after marriage? Because getting into marriage means that we must be honest, right? But how much honest is honest?
Mm.
Because we must have courted and had a great relationship for us to end up being married. So if after we get married, I am going to say something that I know is going to hurt you, is going to cause you to feel differently about the relationship, why now? Go to your grave with it. Why now? So it's either you lay it all or you don't lay any. That's how I see it. Because
But
if you lay any eggs about your past, lay it there, and this is what you're giving him or her, then this is what you must maintain.
mm,
But you can't tell him, or you cannot not tell the person you are dating something that will impact their decision about you and the relationship. And then when you arrive, so to speak, as in get having gotten married, then you're going to say, but by the way, you know that I've had 4 abortions? What? Now you just, that to me would be a very cruel thing to do. So you make up your mind if you're going to tell the person while you are courting, or you're going to leave it unsaid. But don't say it after you get married. Don't say it. And to your story that you said earlier, that auntie that opened her mouth and spoke of the woman's past, that auntie needs something. That auntie is downright rude, out of order, and rotten. And that auntie did not like that girl at all. She hated that girl, and that's what she wished for her. She wished that the pimp would have taken her 3 points. Or else she wouldn't have said something like that. How come I walk up to you and I say, oh, I thought somebody had taken your life. What? That's why the poor woman was running from that family, because that's how they feel about her, and that's how they think. That's the most they expect from her. We'll
but
talk later about how he feels about the situation now. We'll talk about
but
that afterward, but let's continue.
but in all fairness, before she left, she didn't. Nobody knew where she went. But before she disappeared
Mhm.
from the family, not only was she a full time on the street, but she was hard on drugs. So she made a name for herself on every corner in
But
that,
that, but that's
in New
one.
York. It's like
Yeah.
you only need to quote that name and everybody would know her. Now, I
But
know of people with relatives, or I've seen drug addicts on the street all the time, and they are out of it. I mean, even here in the UK, we have a massive car park, and a big store, two car parks. And sometimes you would see them in the corner, and I don't need to tell you what they're doing in the corner, men and women. And that was part of her life. So it's not good what the auntie said, but I don't think that I think where the husband sat, the auntie really didn't see the husband to just show her up like that. He just happened to her because she just came in and blurted out her mouth. But at the same time, for me, I'm saying, yes, there are some things that you keep to yourself, but at the same time, this is not a small thing. This is huge, because if you have to hide from one city because of the life you had there, should you not give your husband or your wife that chance to choose whether or not I want to go with you, or no, I don't want that life?
no, well, you have a choice, but that was her choice not to say. I mean, she wants to start over. She wants a brand new life. She wants to leave all of that behind, and that's what she was doing. And a lot of times, people like to bring up your past as a way of stabbing you in the heart.
That's
It's a
true.
way of them getting to you, hitting you where it hurts. Somebody knows that you have had a traumatizing experience in the past, and you have tried your best to move on from it. You have tried your best to forget it, to start over, start a new life, and then you run into somebody from your past, and you are with somebody they don't know, they assume to be your wife or your husband, and then boom, They bring up your past. You remember when Mass Jasper raped you? Now, you
Excuse me,
know that
guys.
these are some hateful, dirty people. I see it happen all the time, even online, where you see people are, they're online and they're trying to make a name for themselves, and then looking in their comments, you see somebody come up and say, "You're going like you're somebody," or you know, remember where you come from, or you never come from nowhere. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm
Yes.
like, these people are just so cruel. And that's like the same thing that auntie did to that young woman. That's cruel. That's
True.
cruel. Leave it to her.
That's true. Hold on to that point for a minute. Yeah, EK said that body count is not necessary. But he doesn't want to walk around hearing people talking about his spouse. True that. If you are on the street doing certain things and you know you're not married to this person has done all the good things and turned their lives around. That's cool. And you know nothing about the past, and you take your beautiful wife now with you going all over this place only to hear all the men on the street, everybody can say something about your wife. Now I don't think that's a good feeling when you find out the truth behind that. And that is why I think it is really important that some things that can come back to bite you, best said at the beginning of your relationship, especially if it's somebody you're looking to spend the rest of your life with. Because if somebody do truly love you, they will accept you. And more to the point that you made earlier, that sometimes you do tell people stuff, secret will bite you in the true that you knew. Sometimes when you tell your partner, because I even heard someone share a story about this before, that the partner would use that person past they shared with them, and take it as a use as a weapon towards them. Now for me, if I tell you something that really hurt me in the past, if I tell you as my partner and someday you use it against me, I don't think it's gonna hurt me, because if I didn't feel strong enough to tell you, I would not tell you. So the fact that I'm the one who told you and you didn't hear it behind my back, I'm strong enough to deal with it. Now I have to make a decision. Where do I go with you? Do I go forward or do I need to say goodbye? Because obviously you're not somebody who really cares about me, or else you would not use my past against me right now. You understand? So it really comes down to an individual and case by case, and just how petty sometimes we can be as individual. You know, trying to score points, with each other. And that is why relationship, you have to look at it in different ways, because you have to be compatible with people. You can't just jump into relationship as we're doing today, not trying to take time to find out about the person, what their qualities are we compatible to be together, you know what I mean? Until shit hits the fan, that's when we know whether or not this is not for me, because you're too petty, you're too childish. Do you understand? So it is very important that we take time to understand where we're going, where we're coming from, and try to work out whether or not, yeah, I can trust you enough to really talk to you. Because it's like what that song called, Percy Sledge, that song that he says, what, take time to know her. It's not an overnight thing. It really requires time, because like I'm seeing a lot of people, they are jumping into marriage. You listen to Unstoppable live all the time when people share their story, and they talk about how they met an individual, and obviously it's always at the end where they get the dirt, you know. um Accountability, they're not accountable for their action, because in some cases they have never met the woman in person, they've never met the man in person, and then the first thing they do is to travel and marry that person on the first trip. What do you know about them? Nothing. Sex, you go and have sex. Where's the protection? Do you know what they have? Did that person speak to you about the past? What? No, they don't. I think someone made it I think EK mentioned in the comment section that in the US, Trev, you should know this, that it's illegal if you know you have HIV and you give it to somebody. You know what I mean? A lot of these people don't even
Mm-hmm.
know if they have any HIV. They probably have all the crab louses they are, all the disease, but who cares to go and check to see if they're okay? To make sure that, hey, I meet a nice man, a new girl, I'm gonna make sure that I'm clean. Nobody does that. Do you understand? Trev, we've lost you. Come back.
I am here, but it's freezing.
Oh, right. Your internet is giving problem.
I mean, I think I mind this time, you
I can hear you though. I
know.
can hear
Man.
you. I can hear you. Yeah, in the comment section,
Is it my turn?
someone had said, you knew said if you have a disease, you should say something because it can be a death sentence, and that's a fact. Do you understand? Now, still on this topic with the woman and the man. All right. So now that he finds out, the problem with him now is that can I go forward with her? So here's how it's gonna affect the relationship. Is love is not questionable. He does love her. But here's where it's gonna get tricky. Now when he's gonna kiss her, when he's gonna love her a certain way, this is where it starts playing now, the mind. How many men kiss you this way? When she tried to caress him a certain way like she would normally do, his mind is gonna take him to that life she had. How many men have you done this to? It's like it will affect their relationship, don't you think?
Yes. Yes. You thought you want me to answer?
Yeah. The-
Of course, yes. It is going to affect the man if the man is that simple-minded. You'd be hard pressed these days to find a man who has not been with a woman, another woman before.
One
And
second,
you
Trev.
see
One
with a woman.
second. Somebody asked if the live froze. Are you guys hearing us okay? Are we okay? Yes, just say yes in the comment section. Let me just check. It's okay. Because Trev, the other day I was doing my live and the thing, yesterday actually, I just stopped. Are you guys hearing us? Please, can you say yes or no? This stop it needs a crowd. It goes for the man. EK, you are so right. We need a crowd for it, but we have to start somewhere. Maybe we'll come back to it another day or in another
Yeah.
way. But as you know, this
Mhm.
is my first proper discussion, and I'm trying to get my confidence out there. But yeah, it's gonna be a repeat, but maybe on a different topic. But yeah, because every men and women need to sort of give their input on this because it doesn't just affect one; it affects both. You know.
Mhm.
Yes.
Mhm.
So Trev, as I said, the effect on the man now or on the relationship, the strain, is that
Mhm.
all the good 9 years that they had, all the amazing moments, in their private space, is now
Mhm.
going to feel like, thanks EK, is now going to feel like, how many men did you kiss like that? How many men did you allow to do that? Because part of him is dealing with his brother knowing that his wife had that life. So he feels shame. Do you understand? And then you know how we are. In every relationship we are going to have disagreements. Now you have mature people and you have immature, and even sometimes when you're very mature there are just moments when you're pushed to the point where you cannot hold it. And let's say they're having one of those moments where he is pushed. It is easy for him to come out and say to her, who you think you're talking to? You think of the man them where you sleep with you talk to? Bam.
Yeah. Mm.
That is gonna
Mm.
be like damaging. Follow me?
Mhm.
I think the
Mhm.
relationship is it's gonna struggle. If this was You, for example, I'll answer if it was me. If this was you, what would you do? Do you think you could continue with that relationship after you hear that your partner was a professional street person and hard on drugs and he kept it from you for 9 years? Do you think it would affect the relationship, or do you think you probably would have just said no? Guys, in the comment section, what do you think? Would you end the relationship
Yeah.
after 9 years when you find
Delia.
out that your partner was sleeping with half
Mhm.
of New York? Or would you commend her for changing her life and leaving that behind and still continue? What would you do? Please let me know.
Delia, I'm the one to throw a monkey wrench into things
Just throw
because
whatever you throw. Just don't make it lick me. Throw what you throw and don't make it lick me.
something. A lot of us
I
sleeping
agree
with
with
half the
you.
town that we
Yes,
don't
you
know.
do. Yeah, it would affect the relationship.
Of course, yes. A lot of us sleeping with half the town and we don't know. Our
See?
our partners
DK
are
said
out
he
there
would have ended the relationship. Yeah.
with, of course, yes, CK. Yes, you're gonna end the relationship because that to me would be something that I would probably expect to be exposed to me if I was a man. Look how double standard we are, Delia.
I know.
A man will want a woman to expose to him that she has been with several people, whether she was prostituting or she had gotten into relationships that weren't worth it and she had to leave one, get into the other.
Hold on. Oh no. We as women, let's not try to fix it up. Sleeping with many men is one thing, but prostituting, remember, prostituting is like a car drove up to your leg, a car drove up to your foot, and you get in,
Listen,
you go and do whatever, probably 10 times per night, 10 times
daily.
per night for years. You're doing that. That's not normal. She has slept with almost half of New York. So let's not put me and you there because I didn't do that. I had relationships
Listen.
that didn't work out, but sleeping with multiple men for money is God knows what they've done, allowed her to do to them or ask or paid her. So let's
Delia,
look at it like that because that's what it is.
the thing is, listen, listen, I'm going to kind of disagree with you just a wee bit. Just a wee bit. Why? Why am I going to disagree a little bit? Is because we have this double standard. It doesn't matter if she was out there standing on the side of the road and everybody's able to see her. There are also people who do that kind of stuff for money who do not stand on the side of the road. They are online, they are picking up people off of line, and they are doing the same thing. There are some of us who are in our homes, have partners who are going out and doing that without our knowledge, and then coming home to us. Don't forget, the person your partner, each person your partner has been with, you have inadvertently been with too. Think about it. If you are in the house with your husband,